This is Chuck Dixon, the co-creator of Bane, and you're listening to Vigilant Liberty Radio.
At Independent Journal Review, we publish news that is objective, fair, and entertaining. As one of the top websites in the United States, it's our duty to bring the absolute best to our readers. Readers like you. IJReview.com, your number one source for news and entertainment.
Hey, this is Donnie Cates, author of Buzzkill, and you are tuned in to Vigilant Liberty Radio. Get it on.
Hi, I'm Dustin Hoyt with America Our Way, and you can hear me right here on Vigilant Liberty Radio at 10/9 Central on Thursday nights. We bring you the best in political commentary from the right-wing, conservative, libertarian perspectives coming together and bringing the best content on the internet. Be sure to tune in every week for your favorite shows. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter.
This is Ed Morrissey of HotAir.com, and you're listening to Vigilant Liberty Radio.
At Independent Journal Review, we publish news that is objective, fair, and entertaining. As one of the top websites in the United States, it's our duty to bring the absolute best to our readers. Readers like you. IJReview.com, your number one source for news and entertainment.
Show. You are back with Mike Miller and Michael Housen. Thanks so much for listening. By the way, if you'd like to call in, 412-567-6879. Diane, this is particularly for you. Michael,
dude, who's Diane?
Diane is Patty Newman's best friend living in the North County of San Diego. One of my very favorite people on the planet. And,
okay, I know who Patty Newman is, but I'm guessing most people listening do not. Who the hell is Patty Newman?
Patty Newman, she's been on our show, a couple times. Works in
I know.
Yeah, medical industry, rock star, conservative, activist.
We got to have her back on sometime.
Yeah, you know what? I'll send her a private message. But Diane is her best friend, living in the North County of San Diego. And I've known Diane for several years. And it was Diane that introduced me to Patty.
Oh, okay.
So that's the connection. And she reposted my I sent a few hours ago this morning to Twitter and both my Facebook sites that 3 hours until you and I are on. We are your what did I say? We're your veritable light at the end of the tunnel. She reposted it and said she'd be listening the whole time. So right now she's sitting there going, do I really want to call these guys and talk to them?
Yeah,
and the answer to that, of course, is yes, you do.
And of course we are the veritable light at the end of the tunnel.
Absolutely. Okay, you know what, Mike? Oxford University Press, man. I want you to talk about this.
You can't make it up. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, no, it's just, you know what I'm finding in life right now? I am unable to determine whether or not stuff is satirical, parody, or real.
Like you said the other day about an article. We've said it before. like when you start to read it, you say to yourself, wait, is this from The Onion? I mean, what the hell is going on here? Like, how can people, if it's not satirical, how can they write it or propose whatever it is with a straight face, right?
Oh yeah, I mean, I read that kind of stuff and I go, okay, dude, somebody is hilarious.
Okay, so let's first of all, excuse me. For those of you who are not aware, Oxford University Press, one of the largest education publishers in the world. Okay, they write textbooks. So they now, Michael, as you know, listeners, as you may not, they have banned mentioning pork and pigs in their books so as to not offend Muslims.
You know what? It's funny. The first thing that comes to my mind, my girlfriend Danny, she's Jewish.
Okay.
And as you know, most people in various different religious followings, there's a set of things that she lives by and goes by and whatever. And one of those things is she eats kosher. So she doesn't eat shellfish and she doesn't eat pork.
Well,
right?
sure. And, the thing is, and we'll get to that later, I believe Diane is on the line, but let me just say this before we bring her in. To your exact point, the Jewish folks have not eaten pork for thousands of years. Yeah, yeah, we'll get back to this. We'll talk to Diane, but get back to this because I'm wondering why the Oxford University Press, who apparently is very sensitive to religions around the world here, never banned the mention of pork in the past. We'll get back to that. Diane, are you there?
I am. How are you guys?
Great.
Can you hear me?
Michael, can you hear her?
Yeah, hi, Diane. I can hear you perfectly. How are you?
Dude, what were you doing? Did you just choke on a drink of Diet Coke or what?
Just inhaled wrong, man. Sometimes just breath going into my lungs goes in the wrong way. Hey, Di, how are you?
I'm really well. I'm glad you mentioned my good friend Patty, because this is the deal. I have absolutely no talent, but I know really talented people, and I'm great about putting them together. I'm the connector here.
Well, obviously, we totally appreciate that. So tell us, Di, what is on your mind this morning, this afternoon, depending on what part of the country you're in, what day part you're listening to?
I guess what's on my mind a lot is just the incredible amount of denial that people are able to put themselves into, the levels that I continually see people go to say, no, everybody's innocent. Let's all really keep trying harder to pretend bad things aren't happening. That's what I've sort of was taking away a little bit this morning on things I was reading.
Well, what specifically are you referring to? Are you referring to the racial injustice at the Oscars? Are you referring to, did you have a bad experience at the post office line? What are you talking about?
Oh, well, like in Belgium, they shouldn't. It's a setup that they went and popped these couple of guys that were planning another attack, and it just. Somehow I've gotten drawn to a few of the, like Occupy Democrat. That's an interesting page where we just wish Obama could be president forever. That's an actual quote. And
wait, from the Occupy Democrat Facebook page?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah, folks, if you have not seen the Occupy Democrat Facebook page, assuming that you're in a particular period of time in your life where you have wondered if there's any humor left in the world, that would be a place to go. Also, if you're unbelievably confident about the future, if you think things are only getting great, that's another place to go that'll help you with that as well.
Yeah.
Diane, I think, and Michael, I think what needs to happen here, because let's face it, Obama should be president for the rest of his life. I think what needs to happen is I think that again, here's a great opportunity for us. When I was talking about these, we need to organize die-ins across the country so that
Wait,
we can.
did you say die-ins?
Yeah, we got to make this happen, dude.
Well, you know what? Obviously the poetic aspects, having Diane on the line, we could have her be the headliner. Diane's die-in.
There we go.
That's right.
Copyright that.
It's poetic. You're right. Yeah, and or at least they just want, if he could just have 8 more years. If he could just have 8 more years, he could accomplish his goals. So they don't seem to be real clear on the impact of those goals, or actually what those goals are. But they know he's got good goals because he's a great guy, and if he could just have 8 more years to implement them, the whole world would be better.
Well, that would seem to me that would be a potential executive action, pen in hand kind of situation. Dare the Supreme Court to enforce the Constitution. And then, that he can come out and immediately gain 46, 47, 48% support of the American people when he says, can you believe what they're trying to do to me because I'm a black man? I mean, you can kind of already write that script, right?
Absolutely, and that's a consistent theme on that page, too. Anything that anyone objects to, it's always just because, the white people are racist, and it's probably the Tea Party's fault, and that they just got to give a brother a chance. Give him a little
Diane,
more help.
Diane, you're exactly right. They were exactly right. The Kool-Aid drinkers, in terms of giving him 8 more years and he can accomplish his goals, or at least more of them. That's exactly true. I mean, as Michael just said, via the pen and the phone and, executive action, everything else, he would be further down the road to, as he called it in 2008, fundamentally transforming America. So in that respect, they were right. The problem being that we don't want Obama's America.
Yeah, it's really frightening, and yet I don't understand how. I wonder what would really have to happen before somebody would go, okay, wait a minute, maybe this whole Islamic threat thing is a real deal. I just really wonder what it would take for some of those people to go, okay, maybe it's not just a prejudice, maybe it's not just racism, maybe there's something real here. I don't know that anything could happen that would change their minds.
Well, there's a certain percentage that there literally could be nothing to change their mind, right? So, and that is that's really the question, both for us as citizens going forward, but also with the new Congress, is the percentage of people whose minds are either completely unengaged, or the percentage of minds that need to be changed. What kind of things can, should, and will be done, right?
And I think there's just a certain percentage that's hard for people like us to accept, that want that type of socialism and believe in that type of communism to be good for this country. We keep waiting for them to wake up and see the reality, but that is their reality. They want that kind of socialism and are completely behind every move that he makes. And even if that means that we have to have a few terrorist attacks to make that happen, they're okay with that.
Well, see, Diane, that's where you're making the mistake, because obviously, this country is not fair. I mean, we need to, as Obama told Joel, plumber, we need to spread the wealth around. And I think, from my perspective, we need to give him 8 more years, 16 or whatever it takes, to finally completely spread that wealth all around the country. So I think that's where you're messing up.
Yeah, and that is it, too, because it's just all even. If you just take it all and then the number of people, and it's simple math, really. You just divide number of people, amount of everybody's got, throw it in the pool, bam, equality.
Obviously, equality, the watchword of the day. All right, hey, Diane, thank you so much for calling in.
You're welcome.
Absolutely.
We will see if we can transition to something a little bit more hopeful. But hey, you know what? Seriously, thanks for calling.